pull on this handle here. And now it's free. So now we can grab our rope. We're gonna operate this baby. That's awesome. Got my holes drilled to bolt this thing down. Of course, these in the middle, they're already drilled out from the factory. Got those two back there. 9/16 holes for 1/2-inch bolts. And I drilled this big hole back here. That's where my electrical conduit gonna come in for the power cables coming in here. So now that that's done, next step is gonna be throw it up here on the bed. Hopefully the extension fits in my hole there. Get it laid on there, and then I'm going to transfer all my holes onto the deck and then drill them out. We'll be one step closer. Well, got her throw it up there. Wanted to show y'all guys what we got going on. Looking pretty nice. View inside the cabinet. Got to transfer them 2 holes drilled out. Transfer that hole as well. Nice and straight. And it's nice and centered up on my extensions I had to put on the bed. Fit nicely in my hole there. Transfer these 2. That one's easy. You can see there's another one up under there. Won't be able to transfer it. I'll have to lay it out by hand, which won't be a big deal, as long as you know how to read a tape measure. Yeah, we got 2 3/8 inch up front. It was going to be 2.5, but the paneling for the cabinet on that side kind of sticks out from this frame a little bit. Had to account for that. Back the loader up that way just a little bit. The forklift with 6-foot forks makes this thing super easy to get on and off the truck. I mean, super easy. I can stab it right in the hole, no problem. One person. These 4 bolts on each side will be all loose. What I mean by that, these 2 in the middle, I'm going to weld the nut underneath, so I won't have to fumble with having wrenches on the top and bottom by myself. Can just thread them in from the top, tighten them up with a wrench or an impact, and be done. These outside ones, they'll be easy because I can get my hands, work both hands out here pretty easy. So and that way I can use a nylon lock nuts. The downside to the middle is I'll have to use a lock washer, so they'll have to be replaced every so often. So yeah, I'm going to transfer these holes. If y'all don't know what a transfer punch is, this is what I'm referring to. They make them all different sizes, so this one's 9/16, so it's going to be size to size with the holes are drilled. And then it's got that little cone machined in the very center, and you tap it with a hammer and you get it in there, and it leaves a little punch mark in there. So then I'll take the loader off. I'll use that small punch mark that it leaves behind, and I'll use a bigger center punch and really hit it good, and then drill them out with a mag drill. Makes the job pretty easy. And we got while it's on here mocked up, and my bed's still loose, like it's mocked on here as well, I gotta move the bed forward, scoot it forward with the forklift, and get this relatively close. I don't want it close as possible, but I want it closer than it is. That's the point we're at now. couple inches. Make sure this door opens. Nope. So that's going to be my limiting factor. I have to pull the bed back. That's close. What do y'all think? About an inch clearance. Yep. Say that's good unless you're getting in the back door. Hit your head. I think it's alright. And that's just in the travel position. Once this thing gets folded up for work position, that goes up with the machine. So I'm known for making things too close and too tight, but I think that's all right. An inch clearance. Should be all right. We're gonna go with that. Now had some weather move through, had a pretty good windstorm. Then the next day we had a little bit of snow and freezing temperatures, so I didn't want to be working outside underneath the pickup out in the gravel driveway doing this kind of stuff. So I moved this all inside and got everything mocked up. I was done with the truck anyway, really, for this purpose. Got the holes I've been talking about transferred, drilled, blah, 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 blah. All fits good. So now we're moving on to the next big part of mounting the Ezyloader. And this is a kind of an important aspect that I've kind of seems that way from researching, you know, from what they tell you in the manual and seeing other YouTube videos. Because this thing, you know, when this thing's unfolded 16 feet out there and you got, say, you know, this thing's rated to lift 660 pounds. Say you got 600 pounds out there at the very end and it's extended all the way, you know, the forces exerted at the center on this post are incredibly high. And if you don't brace it underneath there somehow, you know, this thing's gonna end up tearing itself up. Eventually it's gonna come loose from your platform. So that's what we're working on today. We're gonna be doing the cross bracing for this lower extension or post, whatever you wanna call it. The manufacturer calls for, they want the ideal situation, they want cross bracing to go back to each frame rail of your vehicle. And they want the mounting locations to be 3 feet apart. So the 3 feet I have here, you can see these 4 bolt holes here and there. So that's the mounting location where my cross braces are going to go to. From the center of that one to the center of this one is 3 feet. Now I'm doing mine different. They call for them to attach to your truck chassis, which would be down here. But I'm not doing that because mine, you know, it's full of the main wiring harness, brake lines, fuel lines, all kinds of crap in the way. I'm not dealing with that, so I'm taking it back up into basically the runners of my flatbed. I'm gonna go back up into here. And it uses to attach, they send this clamp with it. It has 2 bolts. Each side is kind of like split in half. Tighten these bolts up and it basically squeezes, compresses on this tube. So I've marked, I don't know if y'all can see it, because I used a white marker. Center of this one there, there's gonna be another one back here. 2 posts for each half, and they're gonna go up to there, back there, back there. I can get under there and show you. Also, when I mount the bed to the truck chassis, I'm not gonna leave it, you know, metal to metal contact. I'm putting this is ABS plastic, 1/4 inch, has a very high impact resistance and UV resistant. It's incredibly resistant to the outdoor elements and stuff. It won't get brittle and break down basically like other plastics will. So I have that mocked up here because the frame rails on the truck have a much wider flange than these channels for the bed do. They come into right here at this plastic. So I've got this mocked up because my tolerances here for my braces going down are very close, especially on this one and that one back there. So I can't, without having the truck in place and everything, I need to make sure that I'm not going to hit the chassis frame with my bracing when I set everything down. So I can show y'all, I've already got my braces cut. So first of all, in the crate that they send the Ezyloader in, they send you a piece of this angle. It's metric, but it's basically 2 inch by 2 inch by 1/4 inch angle. And you can use that to make your bracing underneath your vehicle or trailer or whatnot. But I have another use for that in my head that I think it'd work better for. So, and I had, in my own rack, I had some 1.5 pipe, schedule 10. So it's lightweight pipe, but it's the same weight per foot as that angle basically. So I used on my computer like some CAD software to draw up. I mocked all this stuff up on the computer to get my angles and everything. Took notes, and I couldn't get them on the first try. I had to do lots of trimming, but did eventually get, everything cut, and I've test fit it. They do fit, so all I got left to do is tack them up. But like this one was a special cut, It's gonna be pretty strong once I get it all installed and everything. Then it had been sitting out in the rack for a few years, so it was rusty, so got all the rust knocked off because I'm gonna have to paint all this stuff. Here's the tube for the other side. So, yep, let's get under here. So I've got the tube, the clamp for this tube. You can put it anywhere, but if you can imagine in your head, or if you know physics or how forces and everything act, the lower you can get this, the less, basically the less leverage it'll take to keep this thing still. So that's what I've done. Brought it all the way down, and I'm going to be able to get bracing. I can go at a pretty good angle on this side. This side, with it being so close to this flange, I'll have to have the bracing come up kind of to the top of the clamp. Whereas over here, I can bring it all the way down to the bottom. I think it's going to work pretty good. Got 1/2-inch plates up here where the pipe's going to weld to. And those are bolted to the flatbed runners. And on the other side, I have nuts welded in place to the channel. And that's because, so when I'm under here installing everything, I don't have to fumble with both hands having a wrench and trying to get nuts and washers and everything on. I can just be right here in this area. All I got to do is start the bolts and then zip them in with the impact, and you're good to go. So let me see if I can get y'all set up somewhere underneath here and y'all can see me kind of put this together. Okay. This is going to be a bit of a pain by myself, but put this clamp here to kind of rest the pipe on while I deal with one end. I imagine I can get it. This won't be the easiest. Like that one. Right in there. I don't want to go plumb to the bottom. I want to leave about a 1/4 inch between the bottom of the pipe and the bottom of the clamp, having a nice weld area. That's looking pretty good. Now for this funky looking one. Got to put that special cut in there. See this one? I'm gonna have to go to the top. Right there, y'all hold it. Oh, need my stinger. Everything's tacked up. What's y'all's view like? Yeah, decent. Here's a better view. Everything coming together. I think this is gonna be nice and strong. Here I can show y'all. This is why I mocked up the plastic to mimic the truck chassis. That's awfully close right there. That one's pretty close too, but I think it'll be fine. These over here are nowhere close. Here's you a better view of everything. We're at the front of the machine. Looks pretty cool, everything coming together. So, yeah. Hopefully this works out well, but now I'm gonna take these plastic pieces off so I have more room to work. Weld what I can, let it cool off, then take everything off, weld it on the table where I can get in better position, get everything. Yep. So my cross bracing for underneath all painted and dry. I think the paint turned out pretty good. I used this New Holland paint. Key is, so like Ford and New Holland, they have a different color pre-2000, and then after 2000 they have the new blue. It's kind of the nickname for it. This is what I used. It's a pretty dang close match, but it's not perfect. So just so you know, it's a heck of a lot closer than the Ford blue is. So good enough. It's underneath. Nobody will ever see it except you guys. So now we're going to move on to doing the electrical for the Ezyloader. So we got 2 toolboxes over here. Dedicating this front toolbox for got 2 big batteries down there. It's going to be for the Ezyloader. This is a 18-inch tall, 18-inch deep, 2-foot wide box. I'm gonna have the 2 batteries in there that are dedicated for the loader, and then some other smaller accessories. Now, the setup doesn't have to be this detailed or intensive. You can just run a power cable from your vehicle batteries straight into the loader and you're good to go. That's all you need. But I'm going to have 2 batteries just for the loader. That way I won't be draining the batteries on the truck. And with these 2 large batteries, I should be able to work it a while without them going down too much. And as a added bonus, if batteries ever get low on the truck, then I should be able to just jump myself off with the Ezyloader batteries. So I've gone ahead and kind of gotten started. I've already ran in so here's the power cable that Ezyloader sends with it. I think they send about 25 feet with it. It's metric. It's 25 millimeter, which is about 4 gauge standard measurement. And then here is the 2-wire cable that's coming from the toggle switch in the cab, and it's going to go straight into the cabinet on the Ezyloader. And some of the accessories we're going to be putting in this box. First, the power is going to come into this switch. So this is just a isolating switch or an on-off switch. If I want to totally isolate the truck batteries from the Ezyloader batteries, like they're not connected, then I can simply turn that switch off. But most of the time it's going to be on, and then the power is going to go from this switch into this. So this is an isolator. So what this does, that's going to keep the Ezyloader from draining the truck batteries. Say if I'm using the Ezyloader and its batteries get low, so then the truck batteries are charging it, like it's not going to drain the truck batteries to where I'm stranded and can't get it started somewhere. That, as y'all might have saw, I've already got, that's an inverter mounted in here. So I'm going to permanently hook these leads up to a battery, and then come out of the side. It's got a 110 volt plugs there. I'm going to come out of there and wire in this external plug. I can get it open here. Going to have that on the outside over here, like so. The main reason I wanted that, well, you never know when you're going to use that, but the main reason I wanted it is so I can do my oxalic acid treatments instead of listening to a generator run all day. I can just hook up extension cord and be nice and quiet. And like I said, who knows what else I'll use it for. But I got, you know, these batteries. Might as well use them for whatever I can. So yeah, that pretty much covers it for now. Already got the power cable and everything ran in here, and some conduit, some flexible conduit. Give it some extra protection. Yep, I'll get after this and bring y'all back. Oh man, these things are heavy. These are Napa commercial batteries. They're 1,000 cold cranking amps and 1,230 regular cranking amps. Just if anybody is curious. Ugh. So I don't know if any of y'all know who Chris Bartell is, or Bartle. I don't know the correct pronunciation, but he's the North American dealer for Ezyloader. Like he handles all the shipping and stuff from Australia, does all the legwork, and if he's up in Canada though, and if you're close to him, I think he does maintenance and repair, stuff like that. And he rigs up new ones on trailers and whatnot. But the reason I bring him up is I saw he has a YouTube channel, Be Matter, and one of his videos, he's going over the wiring and stuff for the Ezyloader, and I noticed his setup. He had this shelf for his batteries, so I copied him. Didn't want any of y'all thinking I came up with it on my own. These batteries are really heavy. I'm surprised this thing holds it. It's pretty loaded down. And there we have it. Let's see if the old inverter and plug gonna work like I think. Overloaded it with the grinder. Now that we plug in what's actually going to be used on it, my vaporizer. I've used it before, so I know it works. Well, waiting on that, I'll show y'all inside here. So looking at the inverter, I think it's showing the batteries may be a little low. But here's all the wiring. Everything goes through that isolator pretty much. Yeah, there's y'all's view. Turned out all right, I think. here's the outside. You get the cutoff switch, plug, and this is the conduit going to be coming out. Still got to slip it on there, going up into the Ezyloader. Yeah, so that's one more major step down. Now we need to get that Ezyloader on here and hook her up. Getting a little late today, so we're going to tackle that tomorrow. Alright, all the bolts are in, loosely in. I left one out right in that corner because that's where my ground is gonna go. Yep, gonna pull this back up next to the shop and then we'll put the bracing underneath on. I know y'all don't have the best view, but kind of hard to get a good one under here with all the crap in the way. There we go. So here everything is underneath, bolted up and tightened down. Looking pretty sharp under here. For some reason this side was a bit of a pain to get, kind of a pain to get in position. I think had a little bit too much paint on everything, changed everything up a little bit, but put a clamp on it and got her in there. This side was pretty easy, except at first I was worried I wouldn't be gonna be able to get it in position because of the drive shaft of the truck, because I stuck it up there and then I want to swing it over like this. Couldn't do that, so I thankfully was able to put it over the drive shaft like this, stab it up there, and then stab it on the post from the Ezyloader or under the truck. There's the Ezyloader up there. Here's a good view from behind. I got one behind me here. Everything's tightened down to the German torque system. Good and tight. Now we're all geared up to connect all the electrical, and hopefully we'll be ready to give this thing a test run. Went ahead, crimped the terminals on the leads. And as far as the electrical, we just gotta connect these two, the battery cables, and then this is the 2-wire cable to the toggle switch in the cab. The Ezyloader comes with these two, this black and white wire right here run together. And the Ezyloader comes with these two terminals connected, so that it could theoretically run just like that. But as a safety, you disconnect these, run this wire, put you a male and a female connector on there, and then we're going to interrupt this wire with the toggle switch, kind of as a safety. So then my ground terminal, I'm going to go there on a bolt and use the bolt the frame down. Then the positive is going to go right here on this kind of breaker type thing. So let's get her done. This is nice. Got most of my shop back the way it was before this whole project started, probably a couple months ago. So last night I thought I had everything wired up and was going to work, but it wasn't the case. Turns out I had that isolator wired up incorrectly. So I misunderstood the directions and or just kind of glanced at them real fast and thought I knew how everything went. So the big terminals on there are for your main battery cable coming from your main battery, and then on the other side it goes to your auxiliary battery. And then there's two smaller terminals where I had previously understood it, those went to your accessory. Well, that was wrong. So this isolator switch has coils inside here that they either open up or close, and that determines whether it lets power through it to your auxiliary batteries. So in order to actuate those coils, it needs its own power source coming into it. The isolator does. So what that means is it needs power from like an ignition source on the vehicle, meaning it only has power when the key's on. And then after I figured that out, it's kind of like duh. So when the key's on and the truck's running, then those coils will allow power to go through and charge your batteries. When you turn the key off, they'll close and cut off the power supply to your auxiliary batteries, isolating your truck batteries. So It's like, duh, yeah, that makes sense. So what I ended up doing is coming in here to the pickup cab. Had two choices, the fuse box under the hood or this one here inside the cab. I chose this one that had a fuse labeled for ignition. I think it said something like accessory power ignition crank. So that was just what I needed. Installed the fuse tap and then ran my wires from there back here into the auxiliary battery box. So this is what that gray wire is. That's our ignition power source, and it comes in here to the isolator, each one of them terminals. So with the isolator getting power when the key comes on and not necessarily only when the engine's running, I don't think that'll be a big deal, but at some point it may, if I want to be working and using the radio or something in the truck. So that would be an easy problem to overcome with this main cutoff switch here. So if I just turn it off like it is now, then the isolator won't have any power to let through. And I tested it out, turned the key on, and there's an audible click. So that's meaning those coils are in there working. I even hooked my voltmeter up to the output side, and we're getting 12.6 volts. So that thing is working now. The Ezyloader has power, but I haven't worked it or anything because I was saving that for all of us together. So let's get after it. So before we crank this thing up, we got first off, here's our power coming in to this breaker, kind of like a breaker type thing. And right now it's tripped, so I'm going to connect that. Now it has power to it. I'm going to undo this clamp. And we're going to go around into the cab. Turn our toggle switch on. Now we should have power here, and we do. Notice the red lights. I'm going to turn the main power on. Undo these clamps. Now I'm gonna winch down to give us some rope to work with. Rope to work with. Let's go get the cradle. Took it out so I could bolt it down on that side. I don't think I've ever seen a little baby D-ring like that. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to go up with it, and then once it gets all the way up, we're going to level it with the level button. First we'll turn our level on, then we'll level it. All right, here we go. Smooth as butter. I have to let out more rope. Finish going up. Barely clearing the barn over there. Okay. Turn our level button on. Level it. Now it's level. Next, it's locked into position. There's kind of a lock clamp deal right up there. To release that, pull on this handle here, and now it's free. So now we can grab our rope. We're gonna operate this baby. That's awesome. Swing this, see if the cradle works. Paired our cradle, it's a wireless connection. Ready to move some bees. Back here toward y'all. Let me try to do this one-handed. So it's got a brake button here on the controller. Y'all probably can't see them, but there's some toothed gears there at the knuckle, and then down there at the main pivot, hit the brake button, and these pins go in those slots to lock it in place. Y'all hear that? It's just released. So now I can swing out. Then I'll hit it again. Knuckle locked in. Swing it some more, and the main one just locked in. So we got this thing stretched all the way out to the rear. Center of the cradle's at the rear of the bed. But the center of my last row of pallets will be right there at that last pocket. So that shouldn't be any problem. Alright, let's put our forks in here. There we go. Ready to pick up some pallets. So I'm interested to see, y'all see that light up there? It's a red LED. Interested to see how bright that's going to be at night. Then something else. Can't wait to try out is the scale. Right now we're in kilograms, so let's hold down the weight button. Let's go display kilograms down, display pounds. Hit the light button to confirm. Now we're in pounds. So it's got a load cell, I guess, up there. And you can weigh whatever you pick up. You can set your tare. So theoretically you could weigh hives before winter and know how much food they have. If they need more, you could get a rough estimate of your honey crop. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Pretty exciting. I don't think I've showed y'all, but I made a little addition to the Ezyloader. I put this round bar up here up top. And this is going to be like a strap rail. I'm going to hook my straps here. You know, I'll have rows of hives. I'll be able to strap the lids down going this way the length of the bed. If I do 2 layers of double deeps, then they'll be up about yay high. And I can run 4 straps down each row. And that way none of those lids are coming off, and it'll be a way to secure the hives at the back. They won't be able to fall off the rear, so I thought that was a necessary addition. Just gotta get the New Holland blue paint back out, make it match the rest of the frame. I'm gonna have to turn that grease zerk around so it's easier to service. Here's the gears for the brake I was talking about. See it up there, it's got an actuator with a pin, and it'll go in each one of them notches. Same deal there, that one's a whole lot easier to see. Oh man, don't you look sharp on that white flatbed. I'm liking it. View from the front. Oh man, I am glad this project is finally over. It's taking way longer than I thought it would. Too long. Had a whole bunch of interruptions in between, but I'm glad it's here. Glad it's on, glad it works. Now I just need to put this thing to work, make it earn its keep. So if y'all have made it this far, I appreciate y'all watching the whole thing. Gonna be plenty more videos on the Ezyloader. I got to get to learn it first, kind of get to know it. Through this whole build, I've gotten to know it pretty good and gotten to know the pickup really well. So yeah, we're gonna leave it off here. If y'all made it this far, thank you very much, and see y'all on the next one.